All right, let's talk about one of the most dreaded parts of the German telc exam, the reading section. We're going to crack the code on this thing. I'm going to show you the absolute simplest, most effective way to nail it.
So, have you ever opened that test booklet, gotten to this section, and just felt your brain totally shut down? If so, trust me, you are so not alone. That's a super common feeling.
I mean, it's the perfect storm, isn't it? You've got this massive wall of text staring you down, the clock is ticking away, and you have these multiple choice questions where every single option seems kind of right. Let's be real, this part of the exam is designed to be tricky, to get you overwhelmed so you start making silly mistakes.
But here is the good news. You don't need to read faster. You really don't. You just need to read smarter. And today, we are going to break down a super clear, super effective method that's going to turn this whole overwhelming task into a straightforward, strategic mission. So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the challenge itself. Then I'll walk you through a simple 3-step strategy. We'll cover how to analyze, hunt, and match your way to the right answer. And then we'll put it all into practice. Let's dive in.
Okay, this right here is where we totally flip the script on how you approach this. The whole point of this strategy is to stop you from getting lost and drowning in all the details of the text. Instead, it turns you into a super efficient answer-finding detective.
And that's it. This is the entire method. Just 3 simple steps. You can forget trying to read and understand every single word. That's not your job. Your job is to be a detective, right? You're looking for specific clues that are going to lead you straight to the correct answer. It's all about precision, not about total comprehension.
Now this first step, it's probably the most important one because it's going to save you so much time and mental energy. Think about it. Why would you ever read a huge article if you don't even know what you're looking for? Reading the question and the options first gives you a clear mission. You know exactly what piece of information you need to find.
Let's see how this works with a real example from a practice test. Okay, question 7 asks, Früher wurden in Duisburg die Parkgebühren verwendet which basically means, back in the day, what were the parking fees in Duisburg used for? All right, our mission is officially set. Find out what that money was used for.
So, our mission is crystal clear. Now we can move on to the next really crucial step. And remember, we are not reading the text for meaning just yet. Nope. We are simply scanning it, looking for our specific clues, our keywords.
Based on our question, the most important words are going to be früher, which means in the past, Duisburg, of course, Parkgebühren, or parking fees, and verwendet, used. These are our targets. Our only job right now is to scan that text and find where these words hang out together.
And just watch how fast this is. We scan past the first sentence, nothing. Second sentence, nope. And boom, right there. The text says, das eingenommene Geld wurde in Duisburg anfangs für gemeinnützige Zwecke ausgegeben. Für alte, kranke, Kriegsversehrte, für elternlose Kinder. We found our keywords. We have officially located the answer.
Okay, so we found the sentence. But hold on, the mission isn't over yet. Now comes the most critical part. We have to carefully compare our evidence to the options they gave us. We're not guessing here, we're not interpreting, we are looking for a direct, logical match.
Let's put them side by side. The text on the right says the money was for the old, the sick, war-wounded orphan children. Now look at the options on the left. Option A is bedürftige zu unterstützen, which means to support the needy. So are the people listed in the text considered needy? Yeah, absolutely they are. That is a perfect match.
You see how this works? The other options, they're just traps. Driving people out of the city, fixing budget problems. The text doesn't say a word about any of that. They might sound like they could be right, but they aren't supported by the actual evidence in the text. Only option A is a direct match. Awesome. Now that we get the individual steps, let's put it all together. We're going to run through the entire 3-step method on a totally new text, from start to finish. This is exactly how you're going to do it on exam day. Okay, new topic, new challenge. This one is all about nutrition in Germany, and we are tackling question 6. We start, like always, with step 1. Analyze the question. It says, Die meisten Befragten finden, dass das Essen, which translates to, most respondents find that food. So our mission is to figure out what most people think about their food. So time for step 2. Let's get our keywords. We are hunting for meisten Befragten, most respondents, Essen, food, and some word that tells us what they think. Maybe something like finden or wichtig, which means important. All right, the hunt is on.
And bam! There it is. Just a couple lines into the text, we find our key word, befragten, and the sentence tells us, das Kriterium lecker dem Befragten noch am wichtigsten. The most important thing to respondents is that the food is lecker, or tasty. Mission accomplished. We've got our answer.
Now for the final match, step 3. Option B says food should be healthy. Now the text does mention health, but it specifically calls tasty the most important thing. But look at option C. Vor allem gut schmecken muss. Above all, must taste good. That is our direct match. Gut schmecken is a perfect synonym for lecker. C is our answer, no doubt about it.
And just like that, you've seen this strategy work perfectly on 2 totally different texts. See? This isn't about luck, it's not magic. It is a simple, repeatable process that puts you back in the driver's seat.
So let's lock this in one last time. This is your new game plan. Step 1, analyze the question. Step 2, hunt for those keywords. And step 3, match the evidence. You're not just a reader anymore. You are a detective on a mission.
And this is the biggest mental shift you have to make. Your goal in this part of the exam is not to become an expert on parking meters or German nutrition. Your only goal is to find the one specific piece of information that correctly answers the question. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. You know, if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this right here. Stop wasting your energy trying to just read faster. Instead, read strategically. Read with a purpose. The power is totally in your hands now. Go practice this 3-step strategy with some sample exams and just watch how your speed, your accuracy, and especially your confidence starts to grow. So the only question left is, how are you going to use this to walk into that exam feeling totally ready and in control? That's all for this explainer.